Hello, good morning everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to talk about sustainable urban development. Okay, sustainable land use requires strategies which optimize economic development, enhance social welfare, and minimize the environmental impact of human activities. So you can see it consists of three areas: social life, environment, and economy. And in the middle is sustainable development. In urban development, we have some issues. First, globalization. At least in Malaysia now, we have this experience. Fun and economic activities are easily moving from countries to countries. We have very bad experience about this one in Malaysia in 1997. A billion of money transferred out of the country. And then the second thing, growing prosperity and wealth and increasing demand for an improved quality of life. And demographic trend, including an aging population. We still don't have this problem in Malaysia, but some of the European cities, they have big problem because their population increase is not that fast enough to replace the aging population. Even the total population is decreasing instead of increasing. Increasing cross-boundary movement of people associated with increasing international flows of goods, information and finance, cultural and ethnic. And in economic, we have also some issues. Transport of goods and mobility of people continues to grow, pollution and space issues, and then information and communication technology infrastructure, changes in lifestyle and the way business are conducted. You can see more people buying through internet, cross-boundary, and causing some retail shop closed down. So we have problem, especially city center where the retail shop, they have to pay a very high cost of rent for the space, but people now can operate from everywhere, from anywhere, which is very low rent. And the third one is decline of industrial activity, high level of unemployment and social deprivation. You can see this one in big cities, especially in Western countries. The city center become like donut. I think you know donuts. In the middle is empty, zero. Yeah. And also we have environment problem. Valuable agricultural land, amenity, space and natural reserve or biodiversity are being lost. You can look at the picture. Initially it was plantation, now become housing estate. My house somewhere here. This is my house somewhere here. Increasing land values and prosperity prices in cities unavoidable for many sections of the population, especially the younger one. Last time I bought my house in Kuala Lumpur only 80,000 about 20 years ago. Now the price is almost 500,000 ringgit. Growth of smaller and single person household are adding to the demand for new housing and to the pressure for suburbanization of rural areas. And for urban design for sustainability, first the aim of the urban design, creating beautiful, healthy and socially integrated inclusive places, promote equitable economic development, conserve land, look at town and cities in relation to one another and their hinterland, and ensure that ensures the strategy location of new development in relation to natural environment and transport system, and ensure development is mixed and of appropriate density. And objective of the development First, the protection of natural environment and conservation of natural resources at the local and regional scale, and the reduction of impact on the natural environment at this global scale in the longer term, reducing ecological footprint and achieving balanced production and consumption system. And promoting balanced and appropriate economic development whilst reducing social inequalities and improving social integration and cohesion. It is particularly critical to address directly the social issues and rapid changes arising out of mass immigration from low-income countries. Advancing the quality of life in relation to the above, and then promoting the long-term health of the citizen, including addressing the relationship between social and psychological well-being and the possibility of experiencing element of nature locally, particularly important for children. The role of urban design in addressing the key issues: first, the physical design of infrastructure and the built environment, and the way the land is used and developed. This is about land use planning. So we have to carry out proper land use planning, and then car-based suburban sprawl, congestion, pollution. This is a big problem now in Kuala Lumpur. So we need compact cities so people can walk to get whatever they want. And then segregated land use, social and ethnic segregation, lack of participation and social alienation, social exclusion, growing crime and insecurity, particularly in poor inner city areas and on isolated public housing estate. And then new urban settlement pattern. This is very common now in advanced countries. The growth of mobility of the transport infrastructure and other infrastructures, especially in the area of information and communication technology, is also resulting in the emergence of new, more polycentric pattern of urban development, with a greater specialization of function between centers. Traditional city usually the center, a single center of the city become very compact and everybody want to go that area. But modern city now, you can see a few other centers, not only the city center. Within the city, they have it has a few more centers. We will discuss this one we will see this one in Kuala Lumpur development plan. And polycentric urban region are developing means physical movement is primarily by private car, adoption of strategy of decentralized concentration. Developing the vision, of course, when we plan our city, when we plan our development, we have to put our vision first. First, the compact city strategy focuses on the form of the city and the efficiency of the distribution of human activities within it, making optimal use of the infrastructure of the city, particularly transport infrastructure, through compact, mixed-use and dense settlement structure, enabling effective use of public transport and non-car-based movement system, and minimizing vehicular movement. This is now the strategy, a good strategy, because when we design our city compact, you can go anywhere, you can get your need within walking distance, or just jump to the public transport. You don't have to go far. If you now in Bangi, if you want to buy something, you have to use your car. Sometimes you have to go to Kuala Lumpur, which is about 35 kilometers from here. And also, we can put our vision to have a short cycle strategy is associated with the environmental trust of local agenda 21 and an emphasis on achieving local environmental sustainability through more efficient local use of natural resources and recycling, greater local economic autonomy, and a smaller ecological footprint. This is another one, short cycle, everything short cycle. I don't mean cycle, you are cycling to go anywhere, but all the thing is you can get from your city, produced by your city, and and recycle, you reuse everything, so you don't need to import a lot of things from outside. And when we plan our city, this is we call integrated transport, land use planning, urban design. This is very important. Usually, sometimes people forget about transport, but in advanced countries, they have this planning. Transport become very important. That's why we discuss this urban design here, because actually we are in the transport group. In Europe, for advanced countries, it's very common. They call it TOD, transit-oriented development, which it is a mixed-use community within 600-meter walking distance of a core commercial area and rapid transit stop. So the development is actually higher density surrounding the transit station. Or the Dutch ABC strategy focus on non-residential rather than residential uses. It set out a series of accessibility requirements and specific criteria relating to parking and public transport for urban and business center according to their level of trip generation. So if higher trip generation, a different strategy. For lower trip generation, different strategy. Usually for higher trip generation, we have to provide more public transport and then less facilities for private vehicle. And then the third one, the city of Curitiba in southern Brazil, combines both integrated spatial planning and green strategies in linear or axial or corridor public transport based development strategy. We will discuss this one later. So in TOD, transit-oriented development, is a mixed use of residential or commercial area designed to maximize access to public transport. So everything, the axis is actually public transport. So people will use public transport quite a lot compared to other strategy of urban development. This is an example. You can see the development, higher density surrounding the transit station. And this is very common in Europe. You can see tram or rail-based transit just very near from a building. You can just walk a few steps, you can get the station. And this is the ABC location policy for like Class A, connected by railway, very limited access by private car. Even the traffic light will give you all red if you drive your car, but if you walk you will get all green and green and green. But for the less compact, we can see highway become very important. Class C usually highway become very important, whereas the middle is Class B, where you can have access to rail-based public transport and also highway. This is Rotterdam. You can see the tram, you can see bicycle. This is actually the high density area where you are not encouraged to drive your car. And this is Curitiba. You can see the bus rapid transit everywhere, and the development is higher density along the corridor of the bus rapid transit. And of course, and there is also another one, decentralized concentration, decentralize everything, but still you have to use compact this design in some area. However, it can also use the sense that new peripheral development which is happening in response to irreversible development pressure should take a concentrated form and focus on new high density center well located within a regional or metropolitan public transport system. This is energy efficient and minimizing its environmental impact. So you can choose whatever you want. Okay, so decentralized concentration is actually alternative to the compact cities, or you can say you want to promote development outside the city center. For example, in Kuala Lumpur, you can see Bangi. This Bangi, where we live now in Bangi, actually this a decentralized concentration. Instead of develop KL, Kuala Lumpur, but we develop Bandar Baru Bangi, or New Bangi town, where our university now is located. But still, even it is in the periphery of Kuala Lumpur, but it is still compact in nature, but not so compact as the Western standard. Let us see how we plan Kuala Lumpur in 1981. We planned this one. Instead of just concentrate in the city center here, we develop another 3 centers. I think this one you are very familiar. This one, Wangsa Maju, where you renew your license or you get your license, especially the international student. And this one, Bukit Jalil, I think that you know this area because some of you live in that area. And this one actually Bandar Taman Tun Dr. Ismail. So now we have 3 centers in addition to the main center, CBD of Kuala Lumpur. This is Kuala Lumpur, surrounded by area. You can see this development. This is the southern side of the Kuala Lumpur. Our city is just south, a little bit south from Kuala Lumpur. And also we have Agenda 21. Malaysia was one of the signatory of this one, convention in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. Actually, there are many clauses in that convention, but I want just to highlight this one: the role of planted forests and permanent agriculture crop as sustainable, environmentally sound source of renewable energy and industrial raw materials should be recognized, enhanced and promoted. And number 9, C, national policy of formulation with respect to all type of forests should take account of the pressures and demand imposed on forest ecosystem and resources from influencing factors outside the forest sectors. Sometimes we develop quite far from the forest area, but the impact, although it is far, but you can see suddenly the forest died because of maybe the pollution from the city, or maybe because of the water table change, maybe because of construction. So this one also have to take into account. And then this one, fiscal, trade, industrial, transportation, and other policies and practices that may lead to forest degradation should be avoided. And then pollution, particularly airborne pollution. You know, car is the worst polluter, air polluter. Now we have so many cars, even inside our campus, we have problem now with parking space and also sometimes accident. And you can see this one, the pedestrian. If we have this kind of pedestrian canopy by trees, so you can walk comfortably, and planted forests. You can see now everywhere in Bangi and Kuala Lumpur. This is very good practice. And this one, you see, this is porous car park, so the rainwater will seep into the earth, and then this is good for our trees and also for our water management or stormwater management system. And runoff water precipitate into the ground, so we use the swale. This is swale, so we don't use concrete drain. Instead of concrete drain, we use earth drain with this kind of gravel, so the water will seep into the earth and our tree will grow, and then reduce the runoff water flow into the river. Okay. So this is the first assignment. You are required to present the sustainability of your hometown. Your evaluation must include this one: urban design, biodiversity, waste, eco footprint, employment, transport, education, healthcare, green space, climate change, sorry, different spelling error, climate change, food, economy, recycling, and air quality. I want you to present this one in the class. I don't know about your hometown. I don't know, it's up only you who knows about that. So you can tell anything about your hometown. Thank you very much.